When I chose silence once. Thích Bảo Thành. My dear child, today I read your heartfelt words again, and when I closed my eyes, I sensed a very soft sigh within them. Not a sigh of despair, but the sigh of someone standing at a crossroads, unsure where to place her next step. In that breath, I felt sorrow and tenderness, self-blame and the wish to choose the right direction. I know you have grown, quietly, gently, in a way even you haven't fully realized. And I want to offer you this small teaching, like a stream of peaceful water flowing through your heart, so you may lean on it whenever the winds inside you begin to rise. Choosing silence once is choosing to see yourself again. You said, just this once, I choose to stay quiet.
My child, someone who knows how to be silent at the right moment is not weak. That person is someone who is learning how to return to herself. For silence is not running away. Silence is another way of standing firm.
When the in-breath becomes deep and the out-breath becomes soft, your heart moves through layers of emotion. The way a lake moves through gentle ripples, you begin to see clearly. That argument is not worth losing a day of peace. That moment of proving yourself is not worth sacrificing a restful night of sleep. In life, you will encounter many such situations. Some people will test your ego. Some people will awaken old wounds within you. But every time you choose silence, you are choosing your own heart first, not victory or defeat on the outside. Silence at the right moment is wisdom. Silence at the wrong moment is avoidance. This time, I see you chose silence at the right moment, walking quietly through the waves of the heart. You said, sometimes when I'm right, there is no need to prove it. When I'm wrong, there is no need for anyone to defend me. These are the first steps of someone walking out of delusion. My child, in the Dharma, I often tell my disciples, the moment you still want to prove you're right, your mind is still tied. Whether practicing in the world or in the temple, one must learn to look deeply into one's own thoughts. When you know you are right, you don't need validation. When you know you are wrong, you don't need to torture yourself. This is a sign that mindfulness has begun to awaken. That sharp or careless remark from someone, it is only a passing wind. Wind comes and goes, but your mind is the sky. If your sky is wide, the wind will only cool you. If your sky is narrow, even a breeze will shake you. Let every painful word become a soft bell reminding you, my mind is tilting. Sit back down.
When silence is compassion for yourself, you ask me, why does silence make your heart lighter? Because when you are silent, you stop throwing wood onto the fire. Arguments, right, wrong, win, lose, all of them feed the flames of the ego.
Silence is stopping. Silence is refusing to burn yourself for things that will never bring you peace. One who can remain quiet is not weak. She has simply learned to love herself first, to love the peace in her own heart, to love the stillness her mind needs in order to heal, to love that little light inside her that wants to grow. You don't need praise. You don't need an audience. A practitioner only needs to know she has walked one step steadier than yesterday. Winning an argument, losing a day of peace. You wrote this line beautifully. Let me share a small story. Long ago, there was a young monk very skilled in debate. Wherever he went, he won every argument. People had no words left to reply. One day, his teacher asked him, "You have
Defeated them, but is your heart peaceful?
No, master, I still feel uneasy."
Then you have not truly won. You only won with words, but you lost with your heart.
From then on, the young monk realized, to surpass others does not mean you have surpassed yourself.
My child, winning with words does not make you happier. Only a quiet heart lets you sleep well. So when you chose silence, you chose peace. That is not losing, that is rising above. Silence is not avoidance, it is clarity.
My child,
With every breath, you must look deeply to see why you are silent. If you are silent because you are afraid,
that is avoidance.
if you are silent because you refuse to face things, that is resignation. But if you are silent because your heart needs to stand still,
That is practice.
and I feel that this time you chose silence out of wisdom, not fear.
That is a precious step of growth.
When you are silent, the mind becomes bright like a full moon. The human mind is like a lake. As long as it is rippling, the moon cannot be reflected. But when the water is still, the moon shines clearly. These days, as you choose silence, you are smoothing the surface of your lake. And one day soon, you will see the moon of your mind appear, bright, clear, peaceful. That is the moment you will understand yourself, love yourself, and no longer let another's words pull your heart away.
Silence opens a door for yourself.
Do not fear silence.
In silence, many new things appear.
You hear your own breath.
You touch old emotions that were never fully seen.
You hear the quiet call of peace.
You know what to keep and what to let go.
The world fears silence because they fear facing themselves. A practitioner needs silence to understand herself. Even while living amid the world, you can still awaken that inner space of stillness. Just turn inward. One breath is enough to open the door.
Namo Shakyamuni Buddha, the light that illuminates the way. When you recite the Buddha's name, you call forth your own inner clarity. It is not that the Buddha gives you peace, he simply reminds you that this peace was always within you. Every time you chant his name, you are saying to your heart, please stop running. Stand here. There is light inside you. When you call upon Avalokiteshvara, it is the same. You are borrowing the energy of the Bodhisattva to support your own heart, to love yourself before loving others. A final word for you, my dear child. Life will test you again many times. People will come and people will leave. There will be praise and there will be criticism. Karmic encounters will be beautiful like morning mist or painful like a midnight storm. But as long as your breath remains steady, you will not be lost. As long as you remember that the right silence is wisdom, you will be safe. One moment of silence today will help you walk a calmer, brighter, steadier path tomorrow. Keep this silence like a jewel in the pocket of a practitioner. When the waves rise, hold it and breathe. you will stand tall again. I love you like a father loves a child learning to walk, not rushing, not forcing, not judging, just walking beside you quietly, lighting a lamp when night falls, and letting you choose your own path when morning comes. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva. May your heart always be soft but not weak, quiet but not dim, moving but never rushed, loving but never bound. Go on, my child. I am here.
Breathe in softly, breathe out deeply. You become still like a cloud, resting above a mountain. Not chasing victory, not demanding to be right, just letting your heart return to its ancient home. Just this once, you choose silence, like a leaf escaping a harsh wind, like a drop of dew returning to a morning. But silence, not to disappear from yourself, but to see clearly each breath crossing your heart. That sharp word came like a cold gust, pushing, provoking, tempting you to respond. But you stopped. You looked deeply and saw what is right needs no display, what is wrong needs no defense. A practitioner may lose one sentence, but gain a night of peaceful sleep. May lose one argument, but gain an entire day of clarity. You chose silence, and that day your heart was as bright as a full moon shining over a still lake. The water calmed, the waves rested, and in that stillness you saw yourself growing. No one praised you, no one noticed, but the Buddha within you smiled softly. Silence is compassion for a tender heart, and embrace you, offer yourself, a lamp you light in the darkness. When you no longer wish to win or lose, you have stepped one pace away from delusion. Breathing in full like truth, breathing out light like release. Leaves fall without sound, yet the season still turns. You stay silent without words, yet your heart has walked 1,000 miles. Namo Shakyamuni Buddha, Namo Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva. You have learned the lesson of a true practitioner amid life's countless noises. To keep one moment of inner silence is to keep yourself. And I sit here watching you grow from that one quiet moment, light as a cloud, steady as a mountain, bright as a lamp that never goes out in the night.